Hello, Simon Miller, Bald A-Hole here, and for the last 30 days I have been doing Ryan Humiston's 30-day full workout program, and if you don't know, it goes like this: sets, rep, and it looks something like this. So how much did it kick my ass, and should you be getting it? Let's find out. Simon Miller, Bald A-Hole here. As you can hear, I have absolutely no voice today, so you're going to have to put up with that. I am very sorry. And today we are talking about Ryan Humiston's, I don't know how you pronounce it, crazy, I think it's called Full Body 30-Day Workout. I bought the program, it costs $20. You can get it on his website. Put a link in the description below. Only seems fair given that I have used his routine to make some content. And the reason I wanted to do it was twofold. One, I wanted to change up my own routine, but two, I get a lot of messages of people saying, "Oh, Simon, have you seen this? Have you seen that?" And when it comes to Ryan's own workout, it is very, very specific. It is very, very unique, I should say, because it's basically about taking your own body and reminding you have to kick its ass.
All right, we're starting off with arm day, and you guys know how I like to theme my week, so this one's going to be from the start, because you'll see why.
Okay, so obviously start with warm-up cardio. Got to make sure you don't lift cold, especially with this workout. Like today, and we'll go through it as we go. It's the leg day. And the first exercise is like 50 reps on a leg extension, and then 60 reps, 70, 80 reps, building up to 100 reps. So if you've ever watched my stuff and thought one day I hope to see Simon Miller die, today's probably going to do it today. And it's got lunges in it, for Pete's sake.
Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty in terms of he says to do this and he says to do that, because I think that's unfair, right? I don't want to steal money away from his pocket by just having a screenshot of the actual routine on the screen. But the basic idea is that nobody really trains intense enough. And we did a video about this a few weeks ago. We did a vlog video. I'll make sure there's a card up there on the video in a second. And it is true. It is right. The best thing about this program, I want to get the positives out the way first, is that it approaches going to the gym and weightlifting in such a, at least for me, unique way that every single time I was excited to see what I was going to do, because again, through each of the 4 weeks that I did, you never keep something the same. The arms that you do in week 1 is going to be different from week 2, and so on and so forth. And that ties into the other point about maybe why I found it so exciting, is that I'm a big proponent of push-pull legs, right? So you do push workout, you do a pull workout, you do a legs workout, you repeat, and so on and so forth. This is what is more commonly known as a bro split. So, I mean, you can tackle it in whichever way that you want. Like, he lays it out, you should do this, but I did it in my own way. But you basically get a legs workout, you get an arms workout, you get a shoulder workout, you get a back workout, and you get a chest workout, and he also put abs in there. But
All right, that's done. And amazingly, somebody is on the leg extension. So I'll do some stretching. Of course, man. Stupid gyms.
Again, it's all about crazy high rep. It's all about crazy high rep. It's about getting that blood into the muscle. But it's also kind of about the mind-muscle connection. If you don't know what the mind-muscle connection is, it's about when you are training, say you're training biceps, right? It's about properly focusing on that bicep to the point that when you're doing your 6th, 7th, or 8th rep, you can feel the blood filling up in the muscle and all of that. So you're like, oh my gosh, I know if I squeeze here, I'm absolutely trying to, well, you're one step closer to hypertrophy, right? Because when you can actually feel something working, you understand how to keep doing those reps. So if we start off with the first workout I did, it was legs, and I believe the program was called Flub from the Start. He didn't use the word flub, but YouTube gets mad about swear words. It's kind of hilarious because you load it up and it says leg extension 6 sets. Okay, 6 sets. So we're going to do a lot of reps. And my word, do a lot of reps. Because set 1 is 50 reps, set 2 is 60 reps, set 3 is 70 reps, so on and so forth, all the way up to 100 reps. So on your 6th set, you are doing 100 reps on the leg extension. Now, you're not meant to be able to get to 100 reps in one go. What Ryan usually says is, pick a weight that you can do around about 30 reps with, so you're failing 28, 29, 30, and then just get through it. Get through it as best as you possibly can. Now, this is where the program struggled for me personally, right? I absolutely loved doing it. It was so much fun, and it definitely reminded me that I haven't been as intense as I probably should have been when it comes to lifting weights and making sure that I achieve progressive overload. But throughout, not just this exercise, but throughout many of the exercises I did do, I found that either other muscles came into play, especially when I was doing shoulders. I make sure I get some footage on the screen. My traps accidentally came into gear. Sometimes one session I should say, I leant back way too far bar and my lats were coming in, because you reach exhaustion so quickly that unless you are as strict as you possibly can be, this may happen. Now, is that the end of the world? I don't personally think so, because you're still training your muscle groups. I mean, you want to make sure you're safe. You don't want to injure yourself. But the program is going to work better if, example, you're doing leg extensions, right? So you really want to hone in on those quads. If you can make sure that nothing else is coming into play. Now, it took me a while to sort of actually decide to do this, because it didn't necessarily say in the program, unless I missed it, which could totally be true as well. I get hard-headed, I suppose. So whatever I was doing on, say it was 40 kilograms, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do 40 kilograms, 50, 60, 70, 90, 100. And when you're on that 100 set and you've got up to 62 and you just want to shoot yourself in the face because it hurts so much, basically what I'm saying is I should have taken more advantage of drop sets, and I would advise that you do that as well. So maybe sort of tinker with it in ways that is actually going to be more conducive in order for you to hit those reps, because that's the other key. You have to hit the reps. Some sets are to failure, so you can do 2 reps and it's fine. But if something says you got to hit 20 reps, don't just, get to 12 and fail and think, well, there's nothing I can do there. Make sure you have weights that you can go down to. And again, it wasn't until I kind of got part way through week 2 where I was like, I actually think I probably misconstrued what he's saying.
It is hell on earth. It's actually hell on earth, and I have not trained my legs properly ever. Maybe. And I fell over. I'll probably include that in the footage. I was so desperate to get off the machine, I just tripped up, which is my own fault for doing months and months, maybe even years worth of gym fails videos. I deserve this. Now we have to move on to sumo deadlifts. I barely do them. It's gonna kick my ass.
We'll go through the leg routine because I think it's quite interesting. So you do those leg extensions, and by the end of that, you are absolutely boned already. And that's only exercise number 1. Rest sets, while it doesn't actually state what you should do, you get access to a Facebook group when you sign up to this program. And a lot of people in there were basically saying, you got to keep the rest short, because the idea, again, is to keep that constant blood flow through your muscles. So it's just basically killing you the entire time. You then go on to leg press, and you're basically doing a superset where you're moving your feet around. So sometimes your feet are closed, sometimes they're turned that way, sometimes they're wide, and you're doing a lot of crazy reps again. I mean, mostly it's 20 reps, right? That's what Ryan preaches. He wants you to hit 20 reps. So again, when you get to that 20th rep, you want to punch yourself in the face because it's so hard. You then move on to sumo deadlifts, and it's 4 sets. It's 10 reps, 8 reps, then 20 reps, 20 reps. So again, you're getting to the state we've already talked about. And this is what I really liked about it, because the next exercise after that was a lying leg curl. But he came up with a way to do it, or, which I never would have done before. And I think this is why I enjoyed it so much, because it reminded me again to always approach things. You don't, just because a machine said you have to use it this way, once more, as long as you're being safe, there are different ways in order to try and manipulate it. So his was on the lying leg curl, where he kind of leant up and he extended his arms. And it's one of the best lying leg curl sessions, I suppose, no, it wasn't just that I've ever had. And you can't lift any weight. And I think that's the other cool thing about it as well. It's a very humbling experience, because if you are going to try and do these 20, 30, 40 rep sets, and you are having the same weight on that you've been doing in your 6 to 8 or your 10 to 12, it's not going to work for you. It's just not. So you have to go in there with a different approach. And that's why I would recommend it. If you are feeling a little bit bored and you just want a month of madness, you absolutely should check this out. Again, I had a really, really good time. Well, honestly, one of the funnest things I started to do was, as I'm drinking all my pre-workout nonsense, I load up the video, I load up the text. That's what you get. You get a video of him explaining what you're going to do, and you get a text rundown so you can figure it out. And while I'm drinking all that, I'm making my notes and figure out what I'm going to do. And some exercises would come up and you'd be like, what the hell is that? I've never heard of this before in my life. I would actually, as a counterpoint, say that was one of the cons too. There were some exercises I just wasn't able to do for one reason or another, be it because my gym didn't have the relevant equipment. I mean, we can't help that. But also, I just couldn't get the form right for one reason or another. So, just to hammer down on this point, I wouldn't be afraid if you do buy it and you really don't get something, or you're not really feeling it in the specific muscle, to just do something that works for you. Because I would imagine you're still going to be doing it differently. Because again, let's say you don't do bicep curls, although I'm sure you do. If you smash out 20 reps of bicep curls as opposed to some magical curl you've never heard of, you are still going to be getting an amazing concentration in that bicep, right? Because 20 reps of anything, well, it hurts and it sucks.
Climbing the stairs is absolutely impossible. I even forgot to record the calf stuff. I'll make sure it's on the screen somewhere. I don't train hard enough. It's what I did the vlog on about the other day. That's only day 1. 4 more to go.
This all ties into the other question as well, which of course I've seen a lot of places because I did my research to see what other people were saying. And it's like, well, how can you cause progressive overload by doing this? Because, again, for example, we'll stick with biceps because that's what we've talked about. Let's say you've done one of his crazy supersets, which honestly is something like go on a cable machine and you do sort of 20 reps reverse curls. This is all one set, right? 20 reps reverse curls, switch it around, close grip, 20 reps close grip curls, wide grip, 20 reps of them, and then drag curls, 20 reps of them. Again, a drag curl. I knew from afar what a drag curl had done, but I'd never done them because I'd fallen in too much into my own routine. So it was great to try something like that. But that counts as one set. And because you are doing 20 reps, 20 reps, 20 reps, 20 reps, stop, give it a few seconds, 20 reps, 20 reps, 20 reps, stops. The next time you come round to do it, are you going to be able to even put up the weight by, whatever, by one notch or whatever you want to call it? And I think you're just going to have to be, super vigilant with it. What I would personally do now is I would do this for a month, and then you don't have to worry about progressive overload because, again, every single time you do legs or you do arms, you're going to be doing different exercises, so you have nothing to compare it to. But I would either cycle it, so you're doing it so it's a month, right? So you're basically doing month, and when you do get back to week one, make sure you go back to see what you were doing first time and add it in. Or actually, I think I would prefer to do, and I think this is what I am going to do for a little while, just to see if I get anything from it, is take some of it with the crazy high rep ranges, but then make sure you are throwing in some naturally obvious progressive overload exercises too. Squats, for example, right? So let's say you did a pre-exhaustion day, right? So you do that crazy leg extension, you do some hamstring stuff to make sure you balanced it out. And then when you move to squats, are you going to be able to squat the sort of maximum amount of weight that you were doing before? Of course you're not going to be able to because you've already kicked your own ass. But that kind of works because you've already brought this new stuff in if you like the way that Ryan trains. Then you can go something that is a great muscle builder such as squats. And let's say that because of all this nonsense, you've had to knock it down to 50 kilograms. And when you get to your next leg day, then you can do 55 kilograms and maybe you can do it when it comes to the leg extension and the hamstring curls or whatever you're going to want to do. If you do get into it though, and you do want to cycle it, like I say, month, I just think you're going to have to remember what you did. So when you get to the week 1 part 2, which is going to be in a month's time, you're going to have notes and you're going to have to look, okay, when I did those leg extensions, I was doing 50 kilograms. I have to go up to 55. So you can do it. And I totally understand it's a weird way to do progressive overload because you're leaving this huge chunk of time. But I'm not going to say that I wasn't sore for the entirety of this thing because I was. In fact, I would argue that I had more DOMs than I've had in ages. And look, DOMs are not necessarily a signifier that you've had a good or bad workout or that you're growing or anything like that. But it was appreciated by me, to say the least, and it made me feel like I was having a good workout. And I think that, combined with the fact that I was very excited about it, meant it was a good program. Also, it's $20. And I don't really think you can go wrong for $20. I mean, a lot of this stuff out there is 50, 60, 70, 8, some are 100. And it's all going to come down to your own personal income. But for a $20 program, I think he explains his stuff very well. You could argue that it's a novelty, but I think it's a fun novelty to do for a week. And I have no regrets about, partaking in it whatsoever. In fact, I had a joyous old time, and my poor girlfriend, she got updates all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't care.
This week 4, legs done. Look at me. Absolute mess. Finishes with 100 squats. Oh my gosh. I'm now walking upstairs and I feel like my feet are about to fall off. My feet, my legs, I can't even talk. So we've got 4 days to go. Then we'll sit down, we'll go everything. I'll tell you if it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's worth it. Hell. Absolute hell. But the one thing it has reminded me, and it has taught me, is one, to keep looking at the camera, keep looking at the screen like one of those idiots. But then maybe I fell into a little bit of a routine and I wasn't intense enough. Obviously, you will see this clip after I've done the intro and some explaining. So the context isn't going to be there. But there's no real context to this workout either. Honestly. Crazy. F you, Ryan Humiston, but not really, because I've really enjoyed this. You rock.
Now, am I going to continue it on? No, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take elements of it that I really enjoyed and felt like helped me progress, and I'm going to tie it in with the exercises as I just talked about. Now, of course, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh my gosh, in these 30 days, I put on 8 pounds of muscle, because I don't think that's true. And also, I'm not a good barometer to tell that, because I don't think any of us are. We need that third kind of a party. But there is no program out there, unless you are brand new to the gym, that is going to put on any crazy amounts of muscle in a month, right? So if you think that's what's going to happen, and you've already been to the gym for a while and you're like a novice or a moderate lifter or experienced lifter, that's probably not going to be the case, but there isn't a program in the world that is going to do that. So my pros would absolutely be, if you want to do something fun and something that is really going to challenge you and remind you that we are not meant to be having a good time in the gym and a lot of it is meant to hurt, absolutely, you should give this a go. On the other side, if you're more of a progressive overload guy, if you don't like doing bro splits, or you know, you don't like the idea of being in horrendous amounts of pain, then you also shouldn't do that, because I think he says it in some of his videos as well. It will scare some people off. You'll do the first day, like you may have seen the gym fail that I did on the channel a few weeks ago, my own personal gym fail, and that was after that leg extension set. My legs were burning so bad, I was just desperate to get off the machine and my face planted. So many people are like, that was a joke, it was a fake. If only it was. It certainly was not. But I can completely understand somebody doing that and say, well, if that's the gym, I don't want to do it. But even if you just do it for a month, what I think you will take away from it is you will remind yourself that you're probably not training as intense as you know you can. Because there were moments during this where I had to dig down deep and everything in my body was like, quit. And of course you can quit. There's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But if you do want to make these gains, you do want to keep progressing, and you do want to find ways to add muscle to your frame, that's the kind of mind state you need to be in. And once more, I've already talked about it. Is this going to be a long-term solution? Arguably not. I'm not going to do it long-term, so I can't give you a definitive answer of that. But I am going to incorporate some of the routines into what I have been doing. And I may even do bro splits for a little while. So again, back, shoulders, legs, arms, chest. I will go back to push-pull legs eventually because, well, I just think that's the best. I just do it and it works for me and I enjoy doing it. But because this has kind of sparked a fire under me, I was like, well, I don't want to give it up straight away. Let me try this hybrid plan that I'm going to put together for myself. And then again, I can check it in a month and I can see where I am at. But in terms of whether I think it's value for money, absolutely. In terms of whether I think it's a long-term sustainable plan, I think it probably could be, depending on who you are. I can absolutely see the argument that trying to do progressive overload with it would be quite difficult. But this is the great thing about the gym, right? You should always be trying to do new things. It should be like any walk of life. You want to come up with ways that keeps your brain interesting and gets you excited. So again, Ryan Humiston, I got it right here. It is called the 30-Day Full Gym Program. He also has a garage workout. I didn't do that one, but in case you stumble across it, just so you know, there are 2 different courses. And more importantly, if you like this video and it helped you, let me know in the comments below, because there's a bunch that I can do. And at the moment, I just feel I'm quite happy to be entertained by it. So I know that obviously Athlete X has one, Jeff Nippard has a bunch. So if you think that, you would like more of these reviews, let me know in the comments below and I'll go buy all of them, and I'll literally just spend each month jumping around to different programs to see what I get out of it. And then I'll tell you, just to point out, I didn't lose my voice doing this workout. That's because some idiot decided to be a professional wrestler. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Again, leave a comment. Let me know, did this video help you or was it a waste of your time? Click the bell, ding, ding, so you know when other videos going live. There is another video on the screen. Give it a click. That's how YouTube works. I'd appreciate it. On Instagram and Twitter at SimonMiller316. Also teamed up with Gorilla Mind and Greg Doucette to help them with their products. There's all the information in the description below, and use the code Simon for Gorilla Mind to get 10% off, and Simon15 on Greg Doucette's to get 15% off. Otherwise, patreon.com/SimonMiller316 if you want to support me that way. I'm on Cameo if you'd like a shout out, SimonMiller.BigCartel.com for merch. I think that's it. Thank you, Ryan, for your program. I had a good old time, and I'll see you on the next one.